My name is Tony DADA. I'm your soul brother, and I'm on a mission. And what is my mission? My mission is to search the planet to find individuals who have found their vision and their purpose, and they're on their mission. Their mission being to make a difference on the planet. They're doing it quietly, without anyone knowing. And I have decided to find these individuals out and bring them to your awareness, because truly the planet is a better place for it. And I'm so happy today because our first guest is none other than a man I have personally been able to watch over the last 35 years and see the great work that he has done internationally, from Africa to America to the UK and beyond. Amazing work. And yet very few people, in my humble opinion, know who this man is. And so this is why we're doing our On a Mission series. It's my great privilege to have here today to share as I have been able to share with him. Brother Ishmael Tetteh, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's joy to be on this program and humble to be the first in this series.
Well,
thank you.
You were the inspiration. As I said, you know, I was at home and I was thinking about your work, because the reason why you're here in the UK is because 35 years ago, you birthed your vision into the mission, the work that you're doing here in the UK. And I thought, wow, how can we really capture and celebrate the work that you have been doing? And that's when it came to me. This man has been on a mission. Why don't we capture it? Why don't we call it that? On a mission. And find people like yourself who have been on a mission. So welcome.
Thank you.
And I want to start way back, as I have done 35 years ago. Like, what inspired you as a young man from Africa to want to come all the way over to the UK?
Well, my ministry is called Ethereum Mission, and that started way back before we had the UK branch. Right. Ethereum Mission started in 1975. And can you imagine how old I was then?
No.
22 years.
Wow.
A church founded around me. I always say that I did not found a church. It was just founded around me. I was just on the mission of teaching what would be described in my country as a new philosophy. The philosophy of an all-loving God, and we are responsible for our experiences. And we can take charge over our lives and our destiny, as opposed to what was prevailing and still prevailing about God, a sky God sitting somewhere with a big book marking your sins. He will one day do trial balance and either roast you in hell eternally, or if you are lucky and the blood of his son Jesus Christ covers you, he will be blindfolded so that you are sneaked into heaven.
Wow.
Sort of consciousness. And when I came to my awakening that cannot be possible, I started searching. And it's a long story if I'll tell about my search, but the search started long before even Ethereum Mission was founded in 1975. So when I came to that awakening, I started doing what I call weekly convocation. First monthly convocations, then it became weekly convocations, where I would teach people of an all-loving God, and that this God is not outside of you. God indwells you as you. That was very strange to many people. God functions as you. God is a creative love intelligence that you can find even in the atom, because there's a bonding force in the atom that makes the nucleus be able to hold the electrons in orbit. That bonding force is love.
Wow.
The intelligence with which the nucleus holds the electrons in orbit is the intelligence of the universe. And then the creativity that makes two particles of hydrogen know how to blend with one particle of oxygen to form a water molecule. that creativity, speaks to me that we are living in a creative, love, intelligent universe. So I was teaching this type of philosophy.
Wow.
As opposed to a sky god who you go and sing, praise, thank, worship, pay obeisance, and come home. We have to be responsible for our lives. It originally met with a lot of persecution, and each persecution made me stronger.
Yeah, so here you are, a young 22-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and no desire to set up a church. It was formed around you. So by that, because I know the story, what you're saying is that basically people held you to ransom and said, you got to start a church here.
Mm-hmm. Well, people coming to the convocation over time said, when we go to our church, our old churches, we now don't feel it right. So it became a weekly event, and then it became a church.
Wow.
So it's not like I planned. So I always say that life coerced me or seduced me
Wow.
into founding the church. And the church started with 3 major objectives: divine empowerment, that is awakening to your own innate capabilities and possibilities. And the second was oneness of life, that is celebrating all of life irrespective of race, creed, or culture. Humanity is one being.
Wow, that's a tough pill for some people to swallow.
Very tough. And the third, restoring the mystical traditions of Africa as the basis for what we call cultural self-respect and dignity. So wherever culture you come from, you need to respect your culture, respect you. You are a culture to yourself, and in the group culture you are in, you need to respect it, as opposed to always borrowing some culture. And in Africa, predominantly, we borrow Western culture and we negate ourselves. And that's why Africa is not making it. Help Africans and Ghanaians, for that matter, to embrace themselves. You know, common psychology teaches you that if you lose the sense of your identity, you no more exist. You've lost your creativity.
Wow.
You've lost your sense of self-determination.
Wow.
And in Africa, Ghana for that matter, we are brainwashed to believe everything African is evil. Your skin color is evil. Your name is evil. So you have to take on an English name. In my days when you went to school, without English name, you will not be accepted into school.
Wow, for real?
Yes. And everything that is beautiful has to get the appendage or the prefix of white man. So Brofo Akutu means white man's orange, for the sweet orange. Brofo Akwadu for the best orange. You know?
Yes.
And I saw this as a surreptitious conditioning of our minds so that we no more believe in ourselves. And that's the problem of Africa today.
And
we
so,
don't need Western aid and so on. We need the restoration of ourselves.
And so what you teach is that wherever you are born on the planet, you are part of a culture. And so as
your culture is beautiful.
And so as you're doing, because you were born in Africa, if someone was born in China or Japan or India, they too should not let go of their culture, but embrace their culture. And that's part of your
Certainly
philosophy.
so. You see, life or God gave us varieties for our celebration. And now we use varieties for our destruction. The flower garden cannot have just one color. Humanity is one being. We have different shapes of noses, but we are breathing the same air. So wherever you're coming from, I mean, why wouldn't I go to China and see something beautiful, something new?
Right.
Life is about variety, celebrating new ways of experiencing God, new ways of cultures, new ways of individuality, new ways of being. That's what life is meant to be. But to brainwash a whole group of people that everything you are and have is evil, and we systematically negating ourselves, that is spiritual suicide. And that's what my ministry as our third objective sought to heal. Because I'm a universal citizen, yes, but I come from Africa, and nature is my teacher. That was one other thing. To teach people that there's no sky God. This thing that we see as life is God.
Wow.
The air you are breathing,
Wow.
the water you are drinking, the sun that shines on you. If you can see God in the air, in the fire, in the water, in the earth, and in everyone you meet, you are having divine interaction. So there's no sky God for you to pray to or die and go to.
Wow.